Hey, Steve Basic Architect. Yeah, we are out at the Take Two Ranch. I'm about to make my way down to the basement. I'm going to catch up with Kevin from LDS. They're the general contractors out here. And what do you say we take a walk around the basement? So let's go find Kevin. Hey, Kev.
Steve.
What's up, buddy?
Good to see you again.
Thanks for having me out. We are well along. I see mechanical guys. We got systems installed. We got some of the main trunks happening in here.
Yeah, we got plumber came in, laid out everything where his runs are going to be, and then HVAC has started. So they're not getting in each other's way, working nicely together. So things are rolling here.
Very good. Are they the same company?
They're not. So Martel HVAC is doing the HVAC, and Stevens Plumbing out of Franklin is doing the plumbing.
Okay. All right. What do you say? We'll just start on one side and we'll make our way over. So first off, you saw me coming down the ramp earlier. This is a stairwell, comes down from the garage, so you get access to the basement. And the finished basement is going to be pretty much about where the camera is. Everything that we're looking at here is going to be dirty basement, as you would hear me describe in the past. So the beauty of that is all of this, you know, we still have some water heater and some other stuff in there, but this becomes a really good warehouse to keep stuff out of the garage. Yeah,
so they're going to have, like I had mentioned upstairs, they're going to have a pool outside. So all furniture and everything, easy access. Down the stairs, storage for this portion. And then down the road, if they wanted to add on to it, they could finish this. But we left all of this as the dirty basement for right now. And then we have two mechanical rooms in this house. We have one that will store an 80-gallon heat pump water tank here. We have one of our Mitsubishi air handlers here, and then also have our radon pipe here. So this will be a separate location from our other one.
Gotcha. And I believe we have 3 units here. So this one is probably owner suite. We have one that takes care of the general central public area, and then we have a unit for the kids wing.
Yep.
You know, so it lays out pretty simple. Engineered wood joist, not a whole lot of magic. Talk to me, we talked a little earlier, so all of the beams here, you can see, it's called out beam number 8. Tell me a little bit about what's happening there.
Yeah, so we use a company, Structural Wood Systems out of Bellingham, and everything, they supply all of our structural lumber for the project.
Okay.
So everything comes labeled with a plan, and their cuts are within 12 inches.
Okay.
So there's not as much waste in material, and everything goes together like Legos.
Because they're probably getting these LVLs as like 54-footers, rail cars, 60-footers.
That's exactly what they're doing,
And then they just cut it up so that they always, they're only sending out pretty much what's needed.
Yep, and the other thing that's great about them, they are a local company. Jeff Gray, the owner, he's out here, he's been out here 3 times. So like yourself, it's not that he's just supplying the lumber, he's out here making sure it's going together correctly, talking with myself, the framers, so it's a good process, and we've found a lot of success with it thus far.
Gotcha. I mean, great storage area. We have one of our sump pumps here because, this basement, I forget it, but it's probably every bit of 120, 124 feet along here. So to rely on one sump pump in the corner, probably not the best idea. So here we split it up. We put one over on that side, one on this side, and then kind of have a high crown point in the middle where we're draining to both sides. So that works out well. You can see we have closed cell spray foam there, and in here we sprayed like 4 inches underneath the slab.
Closed cell insulation underneath. So we have 3/4 stone, washed stone compacted. We have roughly about 10 to 12 inches. And then we brought 3 to 4 inches of closed cell spray foam. And then we have our 5 to 6 inches of concrete.
Gotcha. And then we turn that up the wall. We'll frame a wall, hold it off 2 inches, and then we'll continue that 2-inch skim coat up the wall, finish with an unfaced bat, and then finish the wall. Insulator?
Advanced Green.
Advanced Green. So we're still, I was going to say, are we still working with Jesus?
Yeah, so I get calls all the time for different installation. There's no one better than Jesus and Advanced Green. They're the only ones I use for installation.
Yeah,
for sure.
he was in a bunch of our Build Show, Build Boston series. He was the installator there, and Jesus came on camera with me. It's just funny saying it, like, you know, I'm like, hey, I don't want to do this, but Jesus made me do it, you know, and he's a good guy about it. But yeah, it always makes for a good story.
And the client saw that video, and so he's super excited to have Jesus on this job site. He's got Jesus
as his insulator. Who wouldn't want Jesus as their insulator? Maybe Jesus is the carpenter. But a couple things. Massachusetts, radon pipe, we're required to have it.
Yep.
In the house,
yes.
And it goes in as a passive system. Should we need to activate it, we'll put an inline fan in the attic and basically mechanically suck on the sub-slab, you know, on the other side of the radon barrier there. And but it's a requirement here. It's not a requirement in most states, but here in Massachusetts, it is.
Yeah, and so we've had everyone that's walked down here has asked why the architect put the pipe in the middle of the room. And what they're not understanding is that we have a wall laid out here, but it's not just here in the mechanical room. There's also a wall laid out in the pantry so that this isn't softened in.
This has to go up through the roof. So. And not only that, but what you're not seeing is this pipe has 4-foot extensions.
Yep.
Right? And you don't want to put it up close. You want to try and, like, the premier spot is smack dab in the middle of the basement. And obviously we can't do that because then you'd have a pipe going up through the middle of the family room. But like you said, not only do we have to find a place here, but it has to coordinate with the vent above.
Yeah.
That's going to go out through the roof and go through the first floor.
It's the little things that make the big difference.
It is the little things that make the big difference. Speaking of little things that make a big difference, notice here, single, single, double, 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 single, 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 right? I like to do this, work it out with my structural engineer. I'm sure, did the structural wood supplier, did he question, hey, why do they have doubles here?
No, he loved it.
Okay.
It's actually something that he does as well, but it's something you didn't see 2 or 3 years ago. Now the islands have gotten so big and the slabs are mitered, 2-inch miters, so there's so much weight
And
there.
at Christmas, you're gonna have 10 people standing around the island. And you know, I jokingly say when somebody walks by, you don't wanna hear the wine glass jiggle. And you know, a lot of people poo-poo it, but the reality is if I'm at somebody's Christmas party and someone walks across the room and a bunch of glasses shake, I'm like, yeah, kind of a crappy new house.
Yeah, and
right?
it happens for
and
sure.
And it definitely happens. Yeah. I mean, this is pretty short money when you pair it against the cost of the house to buy 4 additional floor joists to make sure you have a nice solid floor.
It's so since we've done the first house with you. I mean, every house, if it's not on a plan, we'll make sure that we do this.
We'll just double it up underneath the island
from your plans and use on other jobs as well.
Yeah. So. You know, one other thing interesting about Massachusetts is you can see we have all heat pump technology here, and whether you're actually using heat pumps or not, in Massachusetts, you have to design your electrical loads and your electrical system to accommodate a fully electric house. That means induction cooktops, heat pump, water heaters, heat pump, air handlers, all of that stuff has to be designed as electric. You can choose not to do it, but the electric load has to be.
Yep, so this is our secondary mechanical room.
Yep.
We have our 2 units, one that does the downstairs and the secondary one does the upstairs living room and kids' bedroom.
Gotcha.
And then also in here, we'll have a sump pump here.
We have our sump pump underneath the Advantech here.
And we'll also have our 400 amp service coming in from here, and our panels are gonna live in this room as well.
Yeah. Yeah. And for those not aware, when you put electrical panels in, you're not allowed to have any water piping above it. So you always want to put the panels where you don't have bathrooms or any associated spaces above where you're required to put the plumbing above you. So obviously here we have the stair opening, but we'll have a wall right here. Yep. And you also need, I think it's 3 feet in front of the panel as far as access. So when you're laying out this stuff, it's not only about, can I get to the panel? It's, do I have 3 feet of access in front of the panel?
Yes, so we laid out, LJ Brennan Electric will do this one. So Sean and his team, we met with Martel, laid this all out because this is a smaller space. So we wanted to make sure that we had the clearance on the front of the panel to the units.
And I think those conversations are important because, you know, you get the electrician to feel like, hey, somebody's thinking about me, right? And it's like, I just want to voice my opinion. He might come in and say, yeah, this is fine, I'm fine, I got to run to the next job. It's fine. But the idea there is you gave him his 15 seconds to let him know we're thinking about you. If you want to run off, you go run off. You want to stand and talk about it, we'll stand and talk about it, and we'll lay it all out. But the idea is everybody should be included in that discussion.
Yeah, and it goes a lot farther because if you have everyone, the mechanicals, or even the framers, everyone on site working together and making it a point that everyone has their job and you're looking out for one another, the job goes a lot easier.
It goes a lot quicker, and it avoids the, you know, electrician showing up and saying, oh, you want me to put my panels there? What the hell? It's like, no, we had this conversation, we talked about it, you said okay. So yes, that's where they're going. Like, it just avoids any of that confrontation with a 15-minute meeting. You know,
simple.
It is pretty simple. You know, I've said it before a million times, I'll say it again, you know, everything that we all do in the industry is managing expectations. We're managing it for the client. I manage expectations for the builder, the plumber, the framer, the electrician, the HVAC guy. That's what we do. We make sure everybody's being considered.
And the biggest thing nowadays I'm seeing, it's just accountability, right? Like everyone, we're human beings. There's going to be mishaps. There's going to be mishaps that in all aspects of the job. It's you want to work with people that are accountable for what they've done, and that's the biggest thing. And I've tried to build my team around people that are accountable and moving forward to just getting it fixed and moving on from there. So that's the biggest thing for us.
Yeah, no, definitely. Last thing before we go, we have this thing in the floor here, and it's obviously below the slab. For those of you that aren't aware, it's actually an ejector pump. And the reason ejector pumps exist is we have a bathroom right around the corner here. When you flush the toilet, it goes down under the slab. Well, that has to go somewhere. In this particular house, it needs to get out to the septic system. Well, look where the pipe is. It's not below ground, it's actually up here. And so we need to get to this elevation with whatever goes down the shower drain or down the toilet drain. So that all goes down into the ejector pump. The ejector pump has a little bit of a grinder in there. It'll grind it up, kind of whip it up, and then it'll come up through here and then have the ability to go down to the septic system. So those of you not aware of it, but anyways, well, anything else?
No.
We're good?
We're good.
All right, well, there you have it. We walked around the outside, we walked around the first floor, and we just did a tour of the basement. So you got to see the whole of the Take Two project in progress. We'll be sure to return out here. So drop your comments in there, just be respectful. If you're already a subscriber, thank you very much. Greatly appreciate it. If you're not a subscriber, smash that subscribe button. Go tell all your friends. This is the place to hang out if you want to see some really cool stuff happening, and stuff that's happening now, literally getting uploaded a week later. So you're pretty much on the same schedule as this project. So thank you for joining in. Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Steve,
for having me out here. Tell Jared I said hello.
Will do.
And until next time, I'm Steve Basic Architect. Long live our buildings.